Okay, so just welcoming our audience to our presentation. As I said, I lived my entire life with Bitcoin now through a Bitcoin card, which is available through this company, CoinJar, which is an Australian company who buy and sell Bitcoins. But they're one of many providers of the ability to buy and sell Bitcoins, but not all of them provide you with a card. Now this is, I can only use this in Australia. When I went to Singapore a couple of months ago, I couldn't use it. But I go to Coles and Woolworths, I buy my beer and petrol, I buy my coffees, I buy everything with this. And I also use it as a sales tool, believe it or not, because I've been in sales for many, many years. There's one of my old bosses down here from direct sales, Wally. He'll teach everyone a few things. he's a master salesman. And I want this guy to get involved, even though he's a little bit older than me. This is a great opportunity for the old blokes as well. Every time I go to pay for coffee, I say, do you accept Bitcoin? And I get either one or two responses. They go, oh wow, or what's Bitcoin? So I take that as a positive, because about 1 out of 10 people know what Bitcoin is in Australia. I heard Bill before say that not many people in Australia are up to date with what's going on in digital currency. There's, correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, there's about over 800 altcoins now?
Correct.
So Bitcoin, obviously the number one, started in 2008, which you'll see in a minute. But I use it every day in my everyday life. And when I talk to people, they wonder what it is. And once I say the magic word, it's outside the banking system, it's me to you, for small, they get very excited. So what I'll do now is actually just go to my app and see what today's price is. And Bill will talk about the Bitcoin fork, which if you don't quite understand what happened, Bill will give you an update on that. But my little app here, my little currency app, just tell me that Bitcoin is now, one Bitcoin in Australian dollars is $4,064. 4,064 Australian dollars. Now, if you were smart enough, which I wasn't smart enough, in 2013, in February 2013, one Bitcoin you could buy for 12 Australian dollars. 12 Australian dollars. It's almost criminal. If you'd known then, you'd be outside trying to hang yourself. $4 grand for one Bitcoin. Now, all the pundits, all the research I've done with watching lots of people on videos and reading blogs, it's going to go to $5,000. That American is 3,200 at the moment. So they're saying they're all talking American dollars. It's going to go to 5,000 American, 10,000 American, 15,000 American, all depending on what happens and different countries react. As far as I know, Japan has adopted it as a currency, South Korea has adopted it as a currency, and Russia has adopted it as a currency. So you go to Hungry Jack's in Moscow and pay for your double whopper with Kremlin special sauce with Bitcoin, which is pretty exciting. So there's nothing but potential here. That's why we've got this meeting together, to give you an opportunity to have a look at the potential. Some of you may not think it's for you. Some may think I'll dabble a little bit, might buy the odd little Bitcoin here. Or what we'd like to explain to you today is here, Bitcoin mining. Now my explanation is different to Bill's because Bill's very technical. He knows the ins and outs of hash power and whatever it does and whatever. I try to explain it simpler, so I'll do my explanation first. Bitcoin mining to me is the engine room behind Bitcoin. So to have Bitcoin on an internet network, you have to have thousands upon thousands of computers connected together, which have to be powered by electricity. And so the transactions that I do from media, if I send with my CoinJar account $100 Australian worth of Bitcoin to you, takes about 5 seconds and it costs me maybe 15 cents or something like that, transaction fees if I get the right amount. Transaction fees are paid to the miners because they do all the work, that's why they're miners. So they get paid to do the work of maintaining the network, solving the complex problems of the transactions going at so many millions per hour, whatever it is, and then they've got to pay for their electricity. Bill will say that one of the partners at Swiss Gold Global they have a massive power bill every month of 2 million euros a month in power bills. I think power bills in. Oh, what? 2 million euro. So that's what Bill will be talking about. But to me, Bitcoin mining is the engine room behind. Now we can get involved in that. It's very easy. It's the fluctuation of Bitcoin going up doesn't affect Bitcoin mining as much. It's just a slight up and down. So there's an opportunity to get involved with Swiss Gold Global and the Bitcoin mining contracts that Bill will go through. I think is a fantastic opportunity for as little as 30 American dollars, about $40 Australian. So that's something you may want to do, or just gather the information here and start buying your Bitcoins because they are going to go up, or use them in your daily life like I do. It's quite exciting. So Bill's going to speak. We are going to have a break for about 5 minutes. And there's plenty of bottles of water there, and the bar is open. And then Claudia's going to have her presentation of the back end of the business as well, which is packed full of information as well, which will be exciting. We'll have another break after that. Then I'd like to just grab a couple of people to talk about their experience over the last few years with Bitcoin, how it's impacted their life, if it has at all. And then we've got questions, just a few questions at the end. Hearing all the information, in some ways a bit of paper might help you to jot down a bit of stuff if you're thinking, well, what's that all about? You might hear some of the answers along the way, but there might be 1 or 2 questions you have in the back of your mind after that. So we'll do Q&A at the end, and then we'll finish the presentation. Probably won't go to 4, it'll probably be a little bit earlier than that. And then Bill and Claudia are going to hang around. They like to socialise and meet everyone and talk about the business. I also let you know that Saturday night was last night at 10 o'clock. I was at home and I tuned into a live webinar that Bill and Claudia did at 10 p.m. last night and finished at 11 p.m. So there's no doubting the commitment of these 2 people here to the business and doing that sort of thing. Because it's an international company, so there's many people in different time zones. And I've never seen an owner. I've been involved in online marketing and businesses for about 3.5 years. I've never seen an owner, Bill, like you, be so active on a weekly basis. Wherever you are, you're always answering questions, going live, and the same with you, Claudia. It's really fantastic. Personally, for me to see that, that's again cements my feeling for the company and the longevity and the commitment of the management and owners. So that's basically the rundown. So what I'll do now, I'll just put on a 1.5 minute video describing Bitcoin, and then we'll hand it over to Bill. Okay?
What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first decentralized digital currency. Bitcoins are digital coins you can send through the internet. Compared to other alternatives, Bitcoins have a number of advantages. Bitcoins are transferred directly from person to person via the net, without going through a bank or clearinghouse. This means that the fees are much lower. You can use them in every country. Your account cannot be frozen, and there are no prerequisites or arbitrary limits. Let's look at how it works. Several currency exchanges exist where you can buy and sell Bitcoins for dollars, euros, and more. Your Bitcoins are kept in your digital wallet on your computer or mobile device. Sending Bitcoins is as simple as sending an email, and you can purchase anything with Bitcoin. The Bitcoin network is secured by individuals called miners. Miners are rewarded newly generated Bitcoins for verifying transactions. After transactions are verified, they are recorded in a transparent public ledger. Bitcoin opens up a whole new platform for innovation. The software is completely open source and anyone can review the code. Bitcoin is changing finance the same way the web changed publishing. When everyone has access to a global market, great ideas flourish. Bitcoins are a great way for businesses to minimize transaction fees. It doesn't cost anything to start accepting them, and it's easy to set up. There are no chargebacks, and you'll get additional business from the Bitcoin economy. For more information about Bitcoin, visit weusecoins.com.
Okay, that was was a very, very short, brief version of what Bitcoins are all about. I've just done the research on YouTube. It's like the new dictionary, YouTube, because people like visual things. That's why you're here today, to meet someone in the flesh, not someone on the end of a screen. So we're real people, we're talking about a real business, a real currency, and I've got my card there, so I'm a very happy camper. Expecting to be very happy in the next 12 to 18 months, even more so. So at this stage, I'd like to hand it over to Bill Rowell, the owner of Swiss Gold Global, to run through.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for coming out here today. Thanks, Keith, and thanks, Michelle, for arranging this. Today I'm going to speak, I'm going to give you my story first, because you need to know who I am, where I come from, what's my background. And the company's called Swiss Gold Global, but I'm not going to speak so much about gold. I think many of you are probably more interested in income, correct? Okay, we're gold as well preservation, but that's how it started. So I'll touch into a bit of the story. Primarily, I'm born in Melbourne, Australia, one of 8 children raised on a dairy farm. Father was a motor mechanic. So I was brought up with pretty tough principles, head down, bottom up, work hard for a fair day's pay. But my father passed away in the 1970s, which got me really thinking as a young guy. I was 19 years of age. What is life for? What's our purpose? So if I think about him, I only remember him as working. We had a great upbringing. Lived on a very small country farmhouse, 5 boys in one room. The privileged ones, the girls, etc., had rooms to themselves. I'm joking there, of course. And it really got me thinking about what is life about. And in 1980, I went to America and had to exchange some Aussie dollars for American dollars. And I got more American dollars than I did for the Australian dollars. I started thinking, who sets the rules here about money and currency? How does it work? Because I was not very good at school. I failed schooling. In fact, the only subject I passed was economics in 1977. And my last day of school, I'm in an Australian audience so I can tell it, this is true. I rode my motorbike up the 15 stairs. My mates opened up the other hallway. I've gone down the passageway. I popped out the other end of the hallway. So that was my last day of school. And I didn't know too much. In fact, I was very, very naive. But life has a way of teaching you. And you either succeed or you get pretty much beaten up by life in one respect. I joined the police force at the end of 1977. I worked at Footscray. Anyone here from Melbourne? No. Up here sun seeking? So I worked at Footscray. Okay. I worked in Footscray in 77, then Flemington, in a suburbia. Then I was at the age of 23, I was made a criminal detective at Fitzroy, which I loved, in the village there. And then I went to the armed robbery squad. So back in the early 80s, I used to investigate bank robberies and things, but the world's changed today. Much of it's online, the force. But I resigned in 1986, and in between those years, I used to bounce in hotel doors to get a bit of extra cash and earn an extra $10 an hour. I did that for many years. And one day, Tony Wong, a very successful businessman, said to me, "Bill, you should be in this business, hotel business." Now here I am as a young guy, only knew what I knew, had no business experience, but it clicked in me. I thought, yes, I could do this, because I've been working in hotels, working for an accountancy firm, managing, I was going to be the troubleshooter in the end. So I got to learn the trade a bit. So myself and my brother, who was a truck driver for 15 years, I said, "Bernie, I'm going to get out of the police force, I'm going to buy a pub, I'm broke, but that's what I'm going to do." And he said, I said, "You want to come in?" He said, "Well, I've been driving trucks for 15 years, I know nothing about pubs." Well, I said, "Well, leave the truck driving business, go and get a job in a pub." And that's what he did. Cut a long story short, we ended up buying our first hotel lease, that is, not a freehold building, a lease, in Horsham, Victoria. And over the next 20 years, I owned 4 hotels, anywhere from the Grosvenor Hotel in St Kilda, which is a pretty tough old time there in the late, what was that, late 80s, early 90s. The Angel Tavern in Melbourne, which is a great pub. And then the Kites Hotel in Brighton. And I sold out all those businesses in 2005. Ended up going to live back over in Germany for family reasons in that respect. So I've had one, quite an interesting journey in one respect. So how did a guy that rode his motorbike down the hallway at a high school in Druin, country Victoria, get involved with owning a Swiss company in 2008, involved with gold and silver? Well, I was doing pretty well in the pubs, and I went to Zurich, Switzerland, to invest in an international energy fund. And I met another Aussie guy. There's a few people in this room that know him. Certainly Claudia knows him, certainly Bert knows him, Robert knows him, Philip Judge. I went into the office in Zurich. As I walked into the boardroom there, Philip, who's been living in Panama, Central America for the last 20 years. He's been a bullion banker for 30 years. Great guy, him and I are best friends today. He's actually from Adelaide. As we sat down to speak about this international oil and gas investment, he said, Bill, we as a company only invest in products from the earth. Well, this guy's using some freaky words, but it rang a bell in me because there was something tangible, something real, because we just came out of the dot-com boom. Now, who invested in the dot-com area here? Well, I didn't. I lost a lot of money. Because I realised I invested into companies that had nothing of any substantial value. There was no intrinsic value in these companies. And until Philip pointed it out, I realised what I'd been doing. So I knew this guy knew something more than what I had. So I jumped on a plane, went out to America. This is probably 2003, 2004. Walked across oil and gas sites, invested a substantial amount into that. We've been friends ever since. So how did that transition into gold? Well, he introduced me to gold. I'll touch on that story a little bit further. But he primarily rang me in 2006, as he also knew that I'd been involved in multi-level marketing, network marketing. Who's familiar with network marketing or multi-level marketing here? Many of you are. Okay. Well, when I ran my hotels, I also was introduced to network marketing and was involved in a company that was very successful here in Australia. Many of you may be familiar with it, a company called New Ways. It came with the Mauer family. Great company, a great success story. And I went to London in, when was it, 98, and met Tom D. Mauer and got the rights to take New Ways company to Germany. So that's how it all started. In the end, they built a huge organisation of over 50,000 members. I won't take credit for that. I'll take credit for initiating the meeting and things, but primarily it's always teamwork, isn't it? Success is teamwork. So I was engaged in it, and Philip rang me and said, Bill, I've been, he's in Panama, I'm in Frankfurt at this time. He said, I've been up most of the night, and I've been actually supporting people, the financially elite, in providing gold and silver. But he said, I'd like to have a concept where we can put gold, the money and kings into the hands of ordinary people. Can we do it through network marketing? That was his question to me. And I started laughing a little bit. He says, I'm serious. And I was serious too, because I was in a time of my life I was actually just meditating or praying, you could say whatever it was on the couch, to make a decision. Do I go back to Australia to buy another pub in Melbourne? Or do I do something different? And I made a decision. I wanted to get back into the network marketing again, because to me, it's a fantastic system. It puts the power back into the hands of the consumer. Network marketing is a distribution system that puts the power back in the hands of the distributor. And I said, Philip, sure, we can do this with network marketing. Now, in the early days, we made lots of mistakes. We were learning, like everything. It was pioneering, having gold and silver. Gold is money. There's no margin of money. Of course, with network marketing commissions, you need a margin, don't you? No margin, no mission. And with gold and silver, there's no margin. So if you put the margin on top of the gold, people would say your gold's too expensive. They wouldn't buy it. So it didn't really work, that concept. But we've since obviously changed it many times from our mistakes. And now, of course, we are a global operation. So that gives a bit of a history of how it all started. So I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. It's been a bit of a journey of learning different chapters, but I'm driven by purpose. And I came to realise, especially coming back here to Australia, that our money keeps buying less. Who thinks the Aussie dollar keeps buying more or keeps buying less? Does it buy more or does it buy less? Less. And that's really a global phenomenon. It's not just in Australia. In 1998, I was living in Germany, bought myself a brand new 5 Series BMW. It cost 55,000 Deutsche marks, which is around about 27,000 euros. The same car today is over 60,000 euros. So the cost of living around the world has dramatically increased. And I would not say that wages have kept up with that. Some may argue that, but I think I meet many people around the world, and many people are struggling in that sense. So let's move forward a bit here. I'm a licensed gold or precious metal trader in Dubai, at the Dubai company, at the Dubai Multi-Commodity Centre. I do not have an office there, we're very transparent about that. But I'm often there, but I buy our gold and silver to wholesale price through the Argos refinery in Switzerland. Primarily, a lot of people who understand gold, they don't treat it as an investment, they treat it as wealth preservation. I'm not going to spend much time on gold and silver today. If you have questions about that later, you can ask me about it. But today we're going to ask you we're going to show you how you can cash in from the cryptocurrency trend, how you get paid daily, weekly and monthly. I think this is the interesting part. We need cash flow, don't we? You know, going to bed at night, waking up in the morning and seeing that there's been a bit of money paid into your wallet or paid into your account, that's pretty good. Because if it's not going in, it's certainly coming out. How you can get paid to save in Swiss certified gold and silver, that's part of our modules. Primarily, it may not be so interesting for you today, which is also crosses over how to inflation-proof your money. We're living in a changing world. I'm not a pessimist, but the world is certainly changing. And one area it is changing is employment. I mean, who's familiar with Gerald Salente, the Trends Institute? Anyone here watch Gerald Salente? Well, Gerald Salente is a US guy, and he has what they call the Trends Institute. He's based in upstate New York. I was with him at his office probably 18 months ago, and there's no question about it, things are changing in our world. How we labour to earn an income is going to be very different to how our children and grandchildren will. Between now and 2020, they're saying that even in America, 5 million jobs will be lost to artificial intelligence, whatever that is, and robotic labour. So the world is changing. So how do we supplement our incomes? What methods do we move into? And I think the digital world is going to be very much part of that. We're living in a world burdened with debt. No question about that. America, I think, is over $20 trillion in debt today. What happens across overseas pretty much does penetrate us here as well. And when you're burdened with debt, you become a slave to the lender. You know? And in Australia, we've been pretty fortunate, haven't we? We've had a pretty good, I would say, cycle for the last 20 years. Eventually, of course, things have to be paid. In America, they spend over $1 billion a day to servicing their debt. In Australia, it's one of the highest household debts in the world. Now, I just looked this up the other day. I was a little bit shocked about it, actually. And this is only reported in June this year. The ratio of household debt to income in the last 20 years has gone from pretty much 100% to more than double. So if you're on an $80,000 income, most people are spending around about $170,000 each year, which is pretty significant. So people need income. People need income. Australians are taking more debt into retirement. I don't really have to go into this too much. We all pay bills, so we all know where we are, and we all know that we need to have increased cash flow on a daily basis. That's really what we're going to be showing here as well. We're living longer, which is fantastic. One of the reasons I came back to Australia, my mum turned 90. Now she's fit, she does Tai Chi two times a week. She still goes to the gym, she does this, her master Wong teaches her the sword. So she keeps, she's out there. And aging is it's a natural process, and you've got your well-being and your health, you've got the finances to have the freedom. It's a beautiful experience. You have all the time, and to be able to have the choices to make, it's a wonderful thing. This year, I mean, I must say, you're 59, it means you're a few months older than me. I'm 59 this year, 60 next year, okay? We don't often think about this, so do we, about retirement? What money do we have? We're sort of just so busy working, surviving, and all of a sudden the music crept up upon us, and we may be retiring, and all of a sudden we've got to fund out the next 20, 30, 40 years. How are we going to do that? until you see quotes like this from Professor John Shoden, it doesn't really hit us. It's not realistic to finance a 30-year retirement with 30 years of work. You cannot expect to put 10% of your income aside and then finance a retirement that's just as long. Simple words, but very powerful, you know? And we don't really plan for this, do we? All of a sudden we're just there, you know? So I'd just like to share this because I think it's, I speak to my children now, I want them not to repeat the mistakes that I did. That's the way life is, isn't it? So I want them to think about their finances, to be ahead of the game in that respect. When I met Philip Judge in Zurich in 2003, one thing that really penetrated me was the system is stacked against us. The system is stacked against us. Now, I'm not into conspiracy theories or things like that, but when you realise that our currency, whether it's the Aussie dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the Canadian dollar, the American dollar, the euro, whatever currency it might be, that paper currency is designed to transfer wealth away from you back to the system, that gets you pretty wild inside. To me, that's unjust. It is unjust. And when I look at my father, who worked exceptionally hard, like all your parents did, I'm sure you all worked hard yourself, he didn't. I don't really, when I think about him, he was really just a worker. He would milk 60 cows, go to work, be a mechanic for 8 hours, come back and milk another 60 cows. And then that was his life. And I'm very grateful for that. We had a great upbringing. But the system is designed to keep us that way, I believe. So this is about, we only have this system because I believe we're being dumbed down. We need to be consciously aware of this. We need to share this information with our children so as we become more consciously aware, we won't live under these systems. And part of the Bitcoin evolved because of the dissatisfaction of the system that we live under, the unjust system that we live under. That's why we have Bitcoin, in one respect. Now, he's no longer with us, of course, but we primarily live under a Keynesian economic system. And he says here, it's not me, this is what he says, much smarter guy than I am. He said, by a continuing process of inflation, governments can confiscate secretly and observe an important part of the wealth of their citizens. There is no subtler, no surer means of overturning the existing basis of society than to debauch the currency. The process engages all of the hidden forces of economic law on the side of destruction, does it in a manner in which not one man in a million is able to diagnose. I had no idea. I had no idea about this. So when Philip Judge pointed this out to me, it was a wake-up call because I'm running good cash flow businesses. I own 4 hotels. I had cash flow coming in. And I set targets. I'd like to maybe invest this or buy this house in this location. And I always sort of felt that the target of my goal was getting further away. You ever felt that? You want to save for something and you can't quite get there? This is why. It's a transfer of wealth away from us. Now, I'm not here to beat up on the banking system or things like that. In fact, the banks we have do a great thing supporting us. I mean, this is at the highest level of the pyramid in one sense. Without banks, we couldn't do our businesses, correct? We couldn't do our lives, so we do need them. But systems are changing. And this was a game changer for me, that I realised I needed to wake up and understand what's going on. Why are things costing more in Australia? Well, primarily because they keep printing money. Well, it's not even printing these days, it's just a digit. And you can see here from the money supply, this has got a laser, hasn't it? Yeah. You can see here, it's pretty flat, but up to about 95. That's really when the housing prices took off. I bought one of my pubs in 95 in Malvern, and the housing prices were really good there. But what's happened to them since then? Makes us feel wealthy, doesn't it? But really, the truth is, most people have a burden with household debt. That's the illusion, that's the trick. And that's why things cost a lot more. And that's why we need to have supplemental income. We need multiple sources of income. And you'll see Swiss Gold Global, which Claudia will take you through, you can compound it and increase your daily income. Because I know it is a necessity. When this happens, you need to have increased income. So what is money? Well, I touched on the story about this with Philip Judge briefly. When I was in Zurich in 2003, when he told me we only invest in products from the earth, he actually asked me, what is money? I thought it was pretty smart until he asked that question. And I couldn't actually answer it. I said, what is money? I'm having hotels and generating a bit of cash flow. Well, I said it's a means of exchange, it has to be a unit of account. And he said, what else? And I really didn't understand it. Now, for many of you, you might be looking at me, this guy's pretty silly, he's pretty naive, but he introduced me to the concept of store of value. I never understood